Welcome, beautiful moms and moms-to-be. I'm going to demonstrate today 3 different restorative poses that you can take anytime that you want to recharge, calm your system down, calm your mind down, and just turn the attention from the outside to your inner world. Okay? So we're going to start today. You're going to need quite some many items. I made it simple. I've used almost all things that probably you have at home. We start from the surface where we're gonna lie ourselves. Of course, this is a yoga mat. I use 2 yoga mats so that I have a bigger surface. If you have one of those thicker, softer ones, then go for it. Or you can stack 2 mat one on top of the other so that you have a little bit more of cushion. In my case, I just use the normal one, although it's like a 5-6 millimeter. The thicker, the softer, the better. Okay. Then I have a bolster. You might not have this at home. Find any firm pillow that you have at home. Maybe even one of those pillows from the sofa. Smaller pillows, these other pillows that I use on my sofa. It depends on you how many you will need. So watch till the end for the demonstration and then press pause and try to get into the pose, and you're gonna realize if you need more or less or different shape, different firmness. I also have, in case you don't have blocks with you, I got myself 2, you can have blankets. Here in Dubai, we don't use blankets, at least I don't. So simple towels rolled up like this, and now you're gonna see how we're gonna use them. Okay, so the smaller pillow, you can use them to give yourself a little bit of hips elevation. That helps to build a little bit of length in your lower back. If you know that you are a person that tends to fall forward with difficulties, then probably you will need some elevation. I have 1, but you can start 2 or 3, as many as you need. So today's pose is called Upavishta Konasana. So I'm gonna sit on the first pillow, and from here I'm gonna open my legs, not too deep. So remember that if you're pregnant, around between the 13-14 weeks, your body will start create relaxin, which is a hormone that starts prepare the body to open the joints for the baby to pass out through your pelvis. So you're going to be able to go deeper than usual in your stretches, but that is not necessarily a good thing for your joints, for your tendons, ligaments. So you want to always hold back a little bit. Go at a maximum of 30-40%, especially this is a restorative practice, so we're not looking into lengthening the muscles, extending our body. We are looking into relaxing, restoring, as says the word, and recharging. Okay, so how I would do this? Okay, first of all, one thing. Like in my case, I like to stay with my legs on the mat and they can go straight easily. If you have a tendency to bend, that you feel that the knee is bending, then just support them with anything you have, but make sure, I'm using the towel, make sure they're the same height. You don't want to have one knee higher and the other knee lower, so kind of the same height, and place them under the knees. If you have 2 blocks, same size, slide the blocks under the knees. So actually this feels very good, even if you can straighten the legs completely. As I said before, always hold back a little bit from your maximum range of motion. So you know what, go ahead, everybody, no matter where you are, just slide this nice support under your knees. Then you're gonna place, in my case, I'm gonna place the first pillow to support my bolster this way. And then on top of the bolster, because it's quite low, you're gonna probably have a nice cute belly. The baby is growing inside you and you want to respect the space of the baby as well. So, and you're gonna feel it that you don't wanna fall too deep, right? So I'm gonna place another layer on top of the bolster. As I said, you can use just many pillows one on top of the other, and try to build the support that makes more sense for you. Okay, and then from here you're gonna lie on it. Make sure that exactly you're respecting the space of your baby, and lie on the support. So here, for example, you can use this as a support for your trunk, and then you're gonna need maybe another extra support just for the head. So I don't have here one, but in my case I don't mind to rest the forehead straight to the pillow. But make sure if you're doing this that there is no tension going on anywhere on your neck. Okay, and if this generates any tension, any resistance in the body, that means that you have to elevate and create a support between the pillow and your forehead. Option to stay here. You also have the option to turn the head on one side. Option to relax your hands down wherever it makes more sense for you. Make sure that your feet are relaxed, ankles relaxed. They are probably relaxed. When you feel them, they can drop to the sides. Okay, we're gonna stay here a couple of minutes. And if you are turning the head after a minute or so, make sure that you turn the head on the other side. Okay, for the sake of the camera, I'm gonna keep my head turned towards it. And start feeling. So what you really want to feel is a sense of support with all these props that we use, that will allow your body to really let go of any tension. You don't want to feel any part of your body working. This is time for you and for your baby only. It's a time to journey inwards, to connect with your true self, to connect with your baby. To connect with your breath, knowing that you're breathing for two. Giving your body the time to store endorphins, to store calm, rest, a sense of peace, and a sense of joy. Now, if you're turning the head, go ahead and turn it to the opposite side. And every now and then, always check on how you're feeling on a physical level. If you have to readjust anything, please do so. The position is not set in stone. And then take a moment to check on how you're feeling on an emotional level. Accepting whatever comes. Probably if you decided to take this class, you might feel a bit tired or even exhausted. And it is what it is. But you took the right decision to take care of yourself and the baby. You can stay here for as long as you want, as long as it feels healing for you. And when you're ready to come out, you want to move very slowly, making even the exit of the pose like a ritual, like we did at the beginning, to build our nice nest of restoration. Now give thanks for it and slowly lift the head. Walking the hands backward and bringing yourself into a sitting position again. Remove one by one with no sudden movements each piece of prop. You can take your time thanking each object for supporting you, making you feel safe enough to rest the whole system. Okay. And then we're going into the next position from here. From here, by the way, if you want, you can use your hands to lift each knee and turn on one side. So for the next position, in my case, I just put one mat on top of the other to have an extra cushion. We're gonna go into child's pose. We're gonna use basically the same props that we used before. I just added a couple of these more long pillows because for me they feel more comfortable, but you can keep using the same as before. So in child's pose, this can be a position that for the knees or for the ankles, it can be a bit uncomfortable. So we're gonna, in child's pose, basically you sit on your heels, but it can be, as I said, challenging for the ankles. So I'm gonna create, I use the same towel as before, I'm gonna create an extra cushion, a flat one for my feet, okay? So if you're one of those people that suffers from the stretch of the ankles, this is a great position to practice, but you don't want to suffer, right? So you can place your ankles on them. I'm gonna just make it a little bit more even. Well, in my case, this doesn't feel very comfortable, but for the sake of the demonstration, this actually kind of shows that we're all different. So there is not one fit all kind of practice, and this is why I want you to really tune in with yourself and feel what is healing for you. Okay, then you can keep the knees quite separate. And one more thing, it can't be a bit uncomfortable to sit all the way to the heels once we fall forward. Some of us will experience this. So if there is some distance between the heels and your buttocks, then just slide 1, 2, or as many support that you need. Make it soft, make it comfortable. Okay, so in my case, I'm using that pillow that I've used for the previous pose, and I slide it in between my sit bones and my heels. Then I'm gonna use the bolster. I really like this one. It's because it's firm and compact. There are many on the market, more soft, also different shapes. I like this because it's a cylinder, but with the use, it can be kind of flattened and become more like a rectangular one. Okay, so you want to again respect the space of your baby. So you might slide the bolster a little bit more forward, and this bolster might not be enough, right? So we're gonna stack a bunch of pillows on it, as many as you need again, and see if this is right for you by lie on it. Always feeling that you're comfortable in your womb zone, and you lie on that support that you just created. Option again to turn the head on one side, to place the head on the pillow, to create an extra pillow with your head, to create an extra support just for your head. But make sure that if you're turning the head, always turn the head on the other side when we are halfway through the pose. If you decide that you want to stay here for like 5 minutes, you can put just your phone, your clock, and to tell you when it's like to ring in some way with a nice, choose just a nice tone when it's time to turn the head on the other side. So once you are in your final position, relax the body completely. I like to turn my palms upwards to minimize the inputs that I'm receiving from the outer world with my palms palms and finger pads are very sensitive tools of my body. Turn towards the mat. I might receive inputs that I'm trying to avoid instead. In a way, it can be very grounding to place the hands on the mat. So if that makes you feel good and better, please do so. Make sure that you're really melting over the nice pillows that you have. And what I like to do in child's pose is to really enjoy the massage that my breathing is given to my upper back. You can bring the attention to the back of your rib cage. And every time that you inhale, feel that you're expanding the back of your rib cage. So your lungs filling up and massaging the muscles between the ribs. And you could feel quite comfortable, quite soothing. And notice that you can also expand the side of your rib cage every time that you inhale. You're too often used to expand only the front, using only that part of our upper torso to breathe. And taking a moment to realize that you are in a fetal position. Probably it's called child's pose, balasana. So you are in the same position or a similar position of your baby right now inside your belly. And pay attention for a moment to that nice, cozy, comfy, safe sensation that your child, your baby is feeling right now, held by your love inside your lung. And feel the same sensation for yourself. Feeling held by the great Mother Nature, that is creating this beautiful space for your baby to grow into. And at the same time, is caring for you. Is creating this beautiful moment where you can just relax and feel safe. Make sure that you turn the head on the other side if you haven't done it yet. And move very slowly and gently in order not to disrupt this nice shield of warm light, of caring love that you feel around you. Know that you can take this pose anytime. You have a couple of minutes for free and experience this pose that is really the first pose that our body ever experienced. Stay as long as you need. And let the body decide when is enough. The body knows what is good for you. So trust that the body will know when it's recharged enough. And when you're done, you can enter the ritual of the exit. So slowly find again the floor, the mat with your hands, and lift the head. Lift the trunk. And here remove for a moment the extra support. And what I like to do is to find a tabletop position and gently stretch one leg at a time, very gently. Don't apply too much pressure on your knee joints, but take a moment to just release the joints from that compression that has been under, and actually enjoy that nice sensation at the back of each knee. And once you feel you're done, we're gonna transition to the next pose. So as you see, I change the position of the mat that is now facing perpendicularly to a wall. So you're gonna need a wall or any vertical. You can use your wardrobe walls, anything that can support your legs. Next pose is called Viparita Karani, leg up the wall pose. Again, I've used the two mats, one on top of the other, for a little bit of extra comfort. Continue using what you have. Something that I forgot to say in the first few poses: if you live in a cold country, you can also lie on a nice wool blanket to make it feel cozy. Then I have my towels, two on each side. I'm going to show you in a minute how we're going to use them. And then I have a new props, which is a belt, an actual belt. So Again, I want to use this one so that at home, if you're not a yoga practitioner, I'm quite sure you don't have a yoga strap, right? So I just want you to know that a belt is enough, and I want you to get creative with it. And that's what I always say to my students: start practicing, and if you see there's something for you, then invest maybe in some yoga props, which of course are designed for the yoga practice and are absolutely useful. But don't think that because you don't have them, you cannot practice, okay? So I'm gonna show you how to enter. That is one of my favorite poses. So we're gonna put our legs up the wall, and you wanna really feel the wall touching the whole back of your legs up to the sit bones. So how to do that? From here, doing this, it's very uncomfortable, okay? So just turn with the side towards the wall. And from here, you feel the hip touching the wall. And from here, you're gonna start lie down, okay, maybe on your elbows or all the way on your back. And from here, keeping the contact to the wall, bring one leg up and then the other leg up. And you're gonna feel ready in position, okay? If for some reason you end up very far away from the mat, okay, from here either start over and try like I show you, or gently press the heels into your wall and start walking slowly. But this is gonna make you use a lot of the core, enough core to become a bit uncomfortable when you're pregnant, okay? So this is it. This can be the pose, okay? And you can place one hand on your baby, one hand on your arm, and just enjoy the position, making sure that your shoulders and elbows are relaxed on the mat. But you can use also the belt, so that it's nice to keep the legs. So again, every time, so why do we use the props? We don't use the props when or always when you cannot go to the final position. The props are there to feel the body supported enough to really let go. And that's when you go deeper in the pose. So don't think that the props are there because you are not good enough to do it without. You know what I mean? So you can place the belt and you can adjust the distance so that your legs are kind of as wide as your sit bones. So your sit bones are in the middle of your glutes, in the middle of your butt cheek. And so the heels more or less can be in line with those bones or a little bit wider. Try a few different positions and see what suits you most. And so feel that you can relax the legs into the belt, into the strap. That will avoid them to open, right? And why did I put my towel here? It's to go in what is called the cactus position. So you're gonna place both arms on the floor, aligning elbows and shoulders, creating a 90-degree angle at the elbows. And this is a great relaxing position. The moment you go in cactus with your arms, the signal will go straight into your parasympathetic nervous system, allowing to really switch off any stressor or stress input, any fight or flight or freeze mode. And you can really let go. Okay, and stay here. So I've put the towel in order to not touch the cold floor with my arms. That can really take me out of the zone, yeah? So if you have one of those big mats, soft, maybe you don't need the towel. In my case, I want to avoid this contact between my nice warmer arms and the cold floor, okay? Now I'm going to show you how to get out and how to get in if you are in your second or third trimester. This lying down position might feel a bit uncomfortable, so I'm going to show you how you could modify it. So bend the knees gently to remove the belt. Okay. Roll on your left side, so the camera is on my right side, so I'm going to roll on your right side because I'm not pregnant, and so I can do that. But if you are pregnant, please gently roll on your left every time you come out of the pose. Slowly roll on one side. Use your hands to gently push up into a seated position. So for the modification, the variation, you're gonna use a bolster if you have it, or a firm pillow, and place it against the wall this way. Okay. And basically we're gonna try to do the same, enter in the same position. So this is just to elevate your back and your lower back a little bit, so that you don't go into that vena cava syndrome and experience any nausea or anything. So I'm gonna sit on the bolster, showing one side to the wall. And from here it might be a little bit more tricky because you're elevated. So take your time to really lie again on your elbows. Place one leg and then the other leg up. And slowly lie all the way down on your back. Again, if you're far, you can slowly wiggle towards the wall again. Option to use the belt again or not. Again, don't just do what I tell you to do. Experience what I'm asking you to do, and then if it doesn't feel good for you, change it. Get creative. Remove things, add things. Okay. And same thing here. One hand on your baby, one hand on your heart. If you feel that this position doesn't allow you to relax the elbows down, just slide a support again. I'm going to use this one. You can use any other support to feel the space that you have between your arm and the floor. So because you really want to feel relaxed. Or cactus position. Again, here you can stay for as long as you want. If you start feeling a bit numb in the legs, that's normal. Enjoy that blood flow going into the gravity direction. Connecting once again with your breath. Noticing if you can slow down the pace of your breath. You can probably also slow down the pace of your thoughts. Once again, letting the world out and taking the time for you and your beautiful baby to rest. Make sure that you're not holding any tension anywhere in the body. Feeling the heart heartbeat of your heart. And feeling the baby's heartbeat. Knowing that you are one. Whenever you're ready to come back, when you feel completely refreshed, regenerated, you can start blinking the eyes a few times until they get used to the light. Sliding the heels gently on the wall, removing the belt. And make every movement your own ritual of self-care and self-love. Roll on your left side, remember. You can take a moment here on your side fetal position before you gently push your right hand to come up to a seated position. I hope yoga helped you today, and take a moment to bow to your own true self and thank yourself for taking the time to practice today.